Hi everyone, I have a Christmas project to share with you. This is another advent calendar I made. I have to tell you I'm a bit of an advent calendar junkie. I've made quite a few. This is one that I kept though. I just really love the idea of it and I just love this paper line. This is an older Bo Bunny paper line. You could do this with any 12 by 12 cut apart paper that has the 25 days of Christmas on it. But I did use 3 pieces of the same paper. I used leftover embellishments and some stickles and a few other embellishments that I had around the house. So this particular project is this is the whole entire original sheet, except for a few embellishments on it, and I glued this. Well, I have to tell you, I used a lot of magnets first before I glued this on. I used a lot of magnets to attach the pieces that go on the individual numbers. And so all those magnets, everything has to be in place before you glue it back onto this chipboard. So it's glued onto a piece of chipboard, and then the entire chipboard is glued onto this backing board with a piece of art paper that I put on top of the backing board. And I used the art paper because you can get big sheets of it, and it's obviously bigger than a 12 by 12. Now the reason I didn't put this in a 12 by 12 frame is because most frames have a 1/4 inch rabbet. That's what holds everything in place underneath. And so if I used a 12 by 12 frame, it would come in a 1/4 inch all the way around. And I didn't want to do that, obviously. So this is what I did. I happen to have this I think it's 13.5 or 14-inch frame, and so this is what I used. But you could also mount it onto some kind of cardboard or something, or some large chipboard that you have at the house, and just maybe put some trim or something around it, and just you can come up with all different ways to mount this and hang it. You could use a ribbon hanger. I just happen to have this frame handy, and so that's what I used. And so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the back. This is the full 12 by 12 piece of paper. I did use 3 sheets of paper of the same paper so that I could pop it up, 3 times if I wanted to. So here's an example here. This one's just glued on because it doesn't need to come off. So here's the original with the red border. The second paper, I just cut it at the white, and then the third, I cut it at the green leaf here and on the holly. So it's all mounted onto chipboard. This is mounted onto chipboard and stained in black. This is mounted onto chipboard and stained in black, and then the whole thing is mounted onto the original 12 by 12. And this one's only mounted once. I did use thin chipboard, obviously, because I fussy cut it out. Yes, it can be done. It's not easy. You could use cereal board boxes. This was either trim I got at Hobby Lobby or a Jolie's Christmas trim. I can't remember which. I just know you can find it this time of year. I saw it at the store the other day. And it had the lights on the paper, and I just glued these on top to give that dimension, and I just thought that turned out really cute. So here we go. I'll show you. I'll place it on to the top of the original, and you can see how I embellished it. I do have to say this is more than just an advent calendar. It's also an activity calendar. All these little activities are put on with clear plastic corner mounts, so in case I need to switch it up. Because sometimes the first is on a day that you can't deck the halls, or it could be on a Tuesday when you need it to be a Friday or whatever. So you can switch these activities around as however you want. This was a fussy cut from a piece of paper left over. And then I also cut out this square in the bottom of the 1. So that's the second piece of chipboard, and then the third. And then this is actually a 4th piece with this. I didn't pop out anything. It's all cut out with chipboard. So it's very sturdy. You kids aren't going to bend this or break it or whatever. Very sturdy. And everything mounted with magnets. Lots of magnets. Okay, so this is the second one. An activity on the back. I even managed to get an activity on the back of this one. This one is just the one piece of chipboard, and I just put some bling on there. And then it's really hard to see, but this is a second piece of chipboard mounted onto this one. And you got the two pieces of chipboard here with a little chipboard star. This is two pieces of chipboard. And had some little brad embellishment type things, and so I just had some green wire that I put there to make it look like it's hanging down. That's two pieces of chipboard there. So the 8 is actually cut out with chipboard also, and I don't know what I put on there, but it almost doesn't look white anymore, so I think I'm going to have to go back over it with a different shimmer pen or whatever, and that 8 looks kind of funky. But you can see how I added these little chipboard embellishments that came with the collection and added some pearl. So that's two pieces of chipboard there. So I cut this out of chipboard and just put the red stickles around it. And that's the two pieces of chipboard there. I did fussy cut the 13 out and put it on chipboard, or put it on chipboard and then cut it out. Whatever way works best. It's painstakingly time-consuming, but I think the effort was well worth it. On this one, I just glossy accented the light bulbs, and that's two pieces of chipboard as well. You can see how I used very thin chipboard. I just used what I had, you know, boxes, cereal, leftover chipboard, you know, whatever you have handy, just use it up. See how this, oh, got our activity, decorate the tree. I have the little tree here. And of course, you can move these around, so if you want to have the tree decorated by December 1st or on December 1st, or maybe you do it before Christmas, so you don't have to, you can just take that out and put your own in, right? Just take it out if you don't use it. Use a different one. Okay, here's 18. So they're kind of, I mean, you have 19 here and 18 here. It's just kind of a artsy, funky way of doing the numbers. That's really cute. So these are fussy cut. I put on chipboard. Instead of doing the 18, which is really hard, I've already did that on the 8. That was too hard. So we did it on the little presents there. Let's do two chipboards again. The little brad that I put over the original, so you can see the difference here. And this is, I actually cut out the white here and mounted that onto chipboard, so that's popped up. It's two pieces of chipboard as well. So that's another piece of chipboard here, and then I added the metal embellishment. So there's my Advent activity calendar using lots of magnets, 3 pieces of the exact same paper, and a few embellishments. So I hope you try it. I think it's a fun project, and I'm definitely going to do it again if I can find, you know, a cut apart or a paper with the 25 numbers on it. Oh, I would love to do this again. I think it turned out so fun, and it was really easy. Just 3 pieces of paper, a few embellishments. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.